Hey y'all, how are you? Welcome to our crochet demo. I hope everything's well with you. Sorry I'm a little bit late. I got tied up with my Friday meditation with the Ilka Pinero, who, if you're familiar, like we just started a podcast together. Every time I'm on here, I'm like, I just want to pluck my afro. I want to touch all of my hair. Um, um yeah, so she has this wonderful meditation on Fridays, excuse me, um at 3 p.m. And it's a wonderful meditation. I really enjoy it. It's on Instagram live. And Ilka also has meditations throughout the week, Sundays and Wednesdays too. You guys should definitely check it out. And of course, I mentioned our podcast, The Brew. uh you can either watch it live or you can catch it well, I should say my new YouTube channel, Lockett Down, Regine Sawyer. So check that out for sure. The latest podcast is up there, and we're going to return next week, so I'll be posting about that. But in the meantime, I'm here for our crochet demo. So we've been working on masks for the past 2-3 months now, and we're going to continue working on them because it's something that people are still interested in. That folks really want to learn how to make their own masks and how to make them as protective as possible, especially when you're either crocheting or knitting them like we are. So for the past few days, I've been crocheting a couple of different um, masks, but this is the latest mask that I practically completed. I think this is the one that I actually was working on with you guys. The one that I did the other day, Wednesday's demo, that I had done off camera. So that started and completed it for the most part off camera, and then I showed you guys how we install the pocket and add the ear handle. So we're going to do the same thing with this. And feel free to ask me questions as I'm finishing this up. Let me know what projects you're working on. If you're working on masks or anything else. Also, I'm still running my fundraiser. If folks are interested in donating, all funds go to really get protective, I should say antibacterial and antimicrobial materials that I'm making the masks with, and the fundraiser is on Facebook. And the materials that you see here are some of the yarns I've already purchased. These yarns are made out of bamboo. Hello, hi, how are you, and welcome. They're made from bamboo, and bamboo is a naturally antibacterial, antimicrobial yarn. Oh, you made one for my husband, but but I wasn't thrilled with mine. And then I have a person who actually used heavy duty Kotex, maxi pad, and rubber bands. I mean, whatever works for you, whatever works for you for your mask. If it's protective and absorbent, because maxi pads are highly absorbent. You just want to make sure you can breathe. And they're disposable, so that's also good. You may also want to consider maybe getting some if you're going to use maxi pads in any way, shape, or fashion, maybe get some biodegradable ones. Been making dishcloths and face cloths. Oh, awesome. Why weren't you thrilled with your mask? I'm sure you get weird looks if you're wearing maxi pads on your face. I would think that you would be, but as long as it works, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. It's all about what works for you. I had to use cotton yarn. Yeah, I mean, most people are using cotton yarn to make crocheting their masks, or knitting their masks. Also for a lot of cloth masks in general, people are using cotton because cotton is a very breathable fabric. And what's cool when it's blended with either bamboo or hemp is another antibacterial, antimicrobial yarn. It just gives that added layer of protection, but they're also very breathable materials too. And let me just start working on this while I'm talking to you guys. I'm so glad I have, folks coming in to talk and chit chat. And again, I'm working with two screens. I have my laptop here and I have my phone here where I can interact with folks on the Instagram, aka Instamariegram, as some of my friends, specifically Ilka, likes to call it. I wasn't thrilled with the fit on the chin. I found it hot. Yeah, that's been a big topic of conversation for a lot of us making masks. We're trying to figure out how it can be as comfortable as possible as well as protective. Your husband wears it though, that's good. I have found that since I've been trying to get my not my hook but my needle out of his protective casing. Speaking of protection, what I found since making masks with the bamboo cotton, it's a lot cooler on the skin. I mean, I went out today. I had to go grocery shopping, and I've said this a few times, like during these demos. Since I've been wearing my mask, it's a lot cooler. This is a lot cooler on my face compared to what I was wearing before, and I was wearing just like a fabric around my face. And it was probably like a nylon cotton blend. And not only was it hot, like it just kept pressing on my sinus passages. And it's just, I have allergies, so it was just messing with me. It was so uncomfortable. I might as well not worn a mask at all when I walked out of the house because I was constantly pulling at it. But using bamboo makes a big difference because bamboo is a very cool, very slick material. And I was thinking about it actually when I was outside about an hour ago. Like, oh, my face still feels cool. Like I'm not sweating. So I suggest maybe just getting some bamboo yarn or a bamboo cotton blend. It's just really, like I said, cool on the skin. I've been getting those yarns specifically from yarns.com, aka the Webs store. It's an amazing store that has yarn and other crafts supplies in Boston, Massachusetts, and they're absolutely wonderful. They're taking orders, so check them out. Check them out for sure. So, okay, so here we are with our mask, and this is the body of it. Oh, you're so welcome. You're so welcome. And this is in my hands, just to be clear, this is bamboo cotton. As I had mentioned, this particular brand is Bamboo Pop, and it's 55% bamboo. I think the 37%, I have to check the label, 37% cotton, and the rest is another material called PBT. Yeah, 37% cotton, 8% PBT, and PBT allows it to be elastic because this is Bamboo Pop sock yarn. So it has a little bit of a, a bounce to it, and the PBT gives it that bounce. So here's our mask. So here's the body of the mask, like I mentioned before. The little T-shape part here is the actual mask. Hello, thanks for joining us. So after I make this part, because I make the body of the mask first, that's usually what you guys see me make, and then I attach this to the mask, and then I simply just fold it over. So it's folded over, and I make sure that it's aligned with the top of the body of the mask so that I can start sewing it. Okay, so let me grab my needle. The needle that I use is like a needle that has a really super large eye. I'm sorry, what was the website again? No problem. It's specifically, I just have to make sure because it goes by two names and sometimes I get confused. So it's yarn.com and the store itself is called Webs. And it's a great store. Like I can't push it enough. You would think I worked for them. I can't push it mainly because like since I've been doing the fundraiser for purchasing yarn, that's the store that I've been using. That's my go-to. And I've been getting the orders pretty quickly. I get them within about a week. And they also have a variety of yarns in general, and depending upon how much you buy, you get a discount. It's not so much how much you buy, it's really how much you spend. It's how much you spend. If you spend about $60, you'll get 20% off each yarn. So that's really cool. So okay, so I'm simply going to sew this with the same yarn that I used. It's a pretty thin yarn, so it fits right through the eye of the needle, which you guys can see. Show Instagram first. Show Restream. Everybody else is viewing on all the different platforms. So we're going to push that through. Okay, let's cut this a little bit. Okay, let's wave to the folks on Instagram. Let's just cut this just a little bit so it's easier to. Oh wait, sometimes dealing with kitty scissors, it's a little bit of an aggravation. Okay. All right. See, my cat Kiki is peeking at me. She's considering joining the broadcast like she always does. Okay. Let's see. Let's push this through. Here we go. All right. So typically I just take one of the corners, and I just start sewing. And I'll do a few stitches at once. As you guys can see my hands, I'll do a few stitches at once, and then I'll just pull the yarn through. Okay. Straighten it out a little bit to make sure that I have it aligned. And I make the pockets mainly because, one, it serves a double purpose. It's a lining, so you have an extra layer of protection that will go over your face and protect your face. Two, it's also a pocket, as I mentioned, and that pocket is specifically for putting a filter inside. And the filter that I use, and if you've watched this before, you know what I use. But I'll show it to anybody who's unfamiliar. Are shop towels, and shop towels are essentially industrial, or I should say commercial, paper towels, and they're very, very sturdy. Folks use them instead of using just a regular towel, because it's a bit more hygienic to use. So you'll see folks using them in restaurants, commercial kitchens, mechanics use these as well. And you can just clean things up. It's highly absorbent and throw it away. So, and also folks have been using these to make masks because it can absorb so much. So I bought a box of them. This brand is from Scott. You can get them off of jet.com or Amazon. If you're any of you folks are still using Amazon, feel free to order from them. And you can get a box for about $26, and the box has 200 inside. You can also use a paper towel inside the pocket as a filter. You can use cloth, specifically cotton, something that's breathable, so you're not choking out there. And a pinch facial tissue. Anything that's absorbent that you can breathe through, you can use it as a filter. I suggest something disposable. Just once you're done, you can just toss it in the trash. But feel free to use something reusable. I mean, this is a reusable mask, so there's nothing wrong with using a piece of material. So I'm going to cut this side. I'll cut the yarn. And I'm going to let that piece be a little bit long so I can just make a quick little knot. And then I'm also going to cut this side. And do the same thing, make a quick little knot. And then I'll secure it better once I'm done. Okay, so here's this side. This side, so we see that's completely sealed. And then I'm going to do a quick check on Facebook because you guys know that I can't see anyone's comments on Facebook, and a lot of times I get a lot of comments there. So I was like, let me just do a quick double check just in case anybody has any questions or thoughts or concerns. Okay, I see the folks. I see the folks here. Okay, so back to Restream, back to Instagram. So here we have this side that's open. So let's sew that. And let's make sure it's aligned with the top. And then let's sew. Okay. Make sure I catch that corner. Okay, here we go. Let me pull this a little bit. Yeah, there we go. Maybe a little bit more. Okay. So again, I'm going to do a few stitches at once. Just going to weave it in. You guys can see my fingers. I want to make sure everyone can see my fingers. That, you know, I just did a couple of stitches at once, and then I'm just going to pull this through. Okay. Now I'm going to do a few more stitches. Thank you so much. Thank you. I try to keep the products looking good, so thank you. It's got a nice compliment, looking good. I appreciate it. And there are a few folks out there who, who are just gracious enough and generous enough to donate to our fundraiser, to my fundraiser, and I'll be sending out your masks next week. So I like to try to send out everything like all at once. So I got a few requests, and if you haven't sent me your address already, please do. And again, if you just are interested in a mask, you need one, you don't have to donate. Just let me know, and I'll send you a mask. Okay, so let's tighten that a little bit. Okay, so we have let's straighten it. One of those stitches just stands out like a sore thumb. I'm like, hey, I made to adjust it a little bit. Okay, so here we are. Both sides are completely stitched. And I'm just gonna knot it like I did before. And I'll clean all of this up. I'll clean all like the stitches that are sticking out and all that stuff. After I'm done making the ear handles and attaching them. So I'm just making some knots right here and up here. Just a few knots. So here we go. Here's the full body of the mask complete. And now we're just going to add the ear handles. And I'm going to use the rest of the yarn that was on the needle to make the first handle. We'll see if it's long enough. If it's not, I'll just add some yarn to it. I try not to waste. Okay, so let me grab my hook. And the hook I've been using for this brand of yarn, this weight of yarn specifically. It's ranged, but this time around I've been using a 1. I've been using a 1. Now for the ear handles, I'm just adjusting myself real quick. Oh, my legs. My legs are too long. My feet are starting to fall asleep. I usually will make a chain. Hello, thanks for joining us. I usually make, and officially wave to folks. uh, I usually will just make a single chain stitch, but every once in a while, I'll do two layers or 2 rows just to make it a little bit more stable or stronger. But sometimes it's not necessary. If the yarn is like super thin, then I'll do it. I mean, this is not as thin, but the yarn is it's strong, it's sturdy. And also the ear handles, they are and this is another term. I've been saying ear handles, but there's another term. But they're adjustable. Um, I want them to be adjustable because it would just make sense. Like I wasn't sure who was like interested in masks or who would be buying or who would be just in need. So I want to make sure that most of the masks anybody can wear, and they just need to, adjust the ear handles on their ears. And I also added sort of a drawstring effect to it, and the drawstring um, allows you to not only adjust the ear handles themselves, but also adjust how the mask itself cups your face and keeps everything inside. So there's dual purposes. I try to make sure that there's a dual purpose for almost everything that I make. But it's definitely helped when making these masks because we want to make. I specifically want to make products such as this as protective as possible. It's really important during this pandemic time. You want everyone to be safe. You want your family to be safe. You to be safe. So if this is something that you're going to make, let's make it the best. Let's make it the best it can be. Try to see if I want to add. I want to add a little bit more to that. Because I generally, this is about, I want to say about 8 inches, which is typically good for me, but sometimes I like to add a little bit more. I think I'm going to add just a little more yarn to it. And I simply do that just by tying a knot. Tying a knot around the last little piece of yarn that's attached to the chain that I'm making, and I just knot it. It's as simple as that. Okay. Outside of the masks, the next thing I'm probably going to start making are like little hats that like match the masks. Might as well. Might as well. I'm going to do this. Might as well be fashionable, right? So, so maybe I'll start doing hats periodically. I know I've been saying that for those of you who've been watching the past few months, but I think I'm gonna commit to that. But I'll still keep the masks in mind because I think a lot of us are going to still be wearing masks for a while, whether it's mandated or whether we're just like, screw this. Like I'm going to protect myself. Okay, so I just want to make this a little bit longer. Okay. 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 So here's the first ear handle. And again, anything that has any hanging strings, I'm going to fix those later. So we're going to take the end of one of the masks, and I have the pocket facing me. And I mean, really, you can do it any way you want, but I usually just have the pocket side facing me when I'm doing this. So I took my hook, I put it through the end of the corner just to widen the space a little bit, and then I'm just going to just wrap part of the ear handle through that opening. So I'm just going to pull it through real quick. And this is something you can do with your fingers. But when the yarn is this small, like when not the yarn is this small, when the stitches are small, I usually, I don't. So let's get that through. Okay, here we go. And then I just go along the sides. Go along the sides of the mask. And I don't go through each consecutive stitch that I encounter. I usually skip a couple of stitches, one or two maybe. I mean, you don't have to if you don't want to, but I do. I generally do, just to give the stitches some birth. Okay. That little knot I made to attach the yarn is getting in the way. Come on, let's get through. Let's widen that space a little bit. Okay, here we go. And as you can see, you just start to sort of have this little drawstring effect that allows you to just to adjust the mask on your face and adjust the handles around your ears. And there's a couple of different ways of, doing the same effect and it still be, sturdy. But this has been a pretty good alternative. Because I also will just do the standard thing where I've seen other folks do where they have the mask and they just crochet the handle on and it's not adjustable. And if that works, that's great. But I just like to make sure that things are comfortable. Because if you've been checking out like different crafting when it comes to making masks, you've seen folks like making like what they call, I think, the ear buddies. I think they've been calling ear buddies, or I've been calling them ear handle extenders, where if you're wearing a mask, specifically a disposable one, and you're wearing these elastic handled ear handled masks all day, it can be very much an irritant. So people have been using these extenders or ear buddies, and you can either buy them or you can make them yourself. Some of them are like a bendable plastic or silicone. Others are, again, you can make them yourself if you're crocheting or knitting. So you can, that helps you adjust your ear handle as well, based upon how they're fashioned. So my thought process was, okay, let's see if we can streamline it. So So because some of the masks I do, I will do an attached ear handle without being able to adjust. But I just think this is just a little bit easier. I mean, I found it easier as I've been outside with my masks. So as you can see, it has a drawstring effect. Pull it in, pull it in. This one is being stubborn. I have to fix it. Oh no, it's fine. It's me. So see, it cinches. It cinches, so it kind of starts to, like, it'll cup your face. Not just cup your face, but also cup your chin and keep, you know, all the air that shouldn't be getting in out. So okay, so here's this side. So we're going to do the other side. We're going to create another ear handle. Okay, and I'm gonna try to do about, let's see, a 10-inch. Do about a 10-inch one, or 11. We'll see. I don't like making it too long because then it can kind of get in the way. I mean, that's the good thing about the ear handle, that is readily attached to the mask. You don't have like little pieces hanging. So that's something I'm still like playing with and figuring out, but I have a couple of ideas, so I think I could probably do something. So we'll see. Well, I'll let you guys know what I come up with, because maybe I'll have something for the next time that we have this demo. So again, I'm going to make a chain. It's going to be about 10 inches long, maybe a little bit longer. Again, just to quickly, before I do that, let me check Facebook. Because, folks will have like whole conversations, and I'm like totally not there. Therefore, don't know that they've been discussing the mask and all the things. So I just periodically go and check. So, okay. Now the next mask we'll probably do, and maybe again I might experiment with how I put the ear handles in, will be some hemp yarn. I'll be using hemp yarn for that. I got a bunch of hemp yarn in the other day. I showed you guys what I had gotten, thanks to the fundraiser, and I'll be using that. This time around, the hemp that I have is blended, so that'll be interesting to use, because the first time I used hemp, I'd mentioned it before, it felt initially like grass, but once I was working with it, it softened a lot. And because of how light it is, and because of how sturdy it is, I think it also probably will be cool on the face. I mean, especially now that we're coming into the warmer months, especially for us up like in the Northeast. It'll start to get warmer, even though we're having like a nor'easter this weekend, which, I mean, supposedly some of the northeastern states will be getting snow. I'm like, wait, this is May. Like, what is going on? First, a pandemic, then we have those killer hornets, those huge hornets, and now there's a northeaster. I mean, hold on to your hats, guys. Hold on to your hats, because the earth is telling us something. Not trying to tell us something. The earth is telling us something. So if you haven't been listening, you need to listen now. If nothing else is certain, that is certain enough to me. Oh my gosh. Okay, so here we go. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. And also, sometimes, got to make sure I got to measure it up against the one that I made. Right. Okay, I have still a little bit to go. A little bit to go. But yeah, so the next one I'll do with you guys probably will be hemp. I may do the same thing that I've been doing for the past couple of days, where I just show you how I finish it all up, because we've been doing like the body of masks for weeks, and then we started doing pockets for a while, and now it's time to just, you know, put everything all together, make everything nicey nice. And see how folks come up with like a solid fucking excuse me, but it's the truth, a solid fucking mask. So okay, so let me cut this. It's ready. It's ready to go. Okay. Okay. I'm just straightening this out a little bit. Okay. And we also haven't done circular masks in a while, so that's something I've been meaning to get to. So I think we should do that too. Because I've said this before, I just like the way a circular mask feels. Even though like I like the mask that I made for myself is rectangular. Like I like it just fine, but I like feeling like everything is enclosed and like stuff is not going to fall off my face. And, and I think a few people, as I'm watching them outside, as they're adjusting their masks and such, that's definitely a thing. And I think something about the circular mask is just really helpful with that, as it's because of how it cups your face and just keeps everything inside. That's also why it's really important to like have these ear handles that can be adjusted. But again, I've been seeing some really cool masks where, you know, people have it all, down pat. And they're doing maybe some different things than I am, but it looks, they're solid masks. But I would still invite those same folks to start maybe just using materials that are naturally antibacterial, antimicrobial. I mean, you can also get material that is chemically made antibacterial, antimicrobial, and all that really means is that the material itself repels bacteria and microbes. Like it's inhospitable to bacteria and microbes. It's not going to grow there. They get in contact with the material and they're like, nope, I'm not staying here. This is not where I want to live. This is not good for me. And again, those materials are bamboo and hemp and also wool. But again, if folks are finding that cotton is hot on your face, I just feel like wool on the face would feel like hell. It would just feel like hell. And again, it's like you might as well not wear a mask at that point because you've ripped it off your face. So we don't want any of that. We want everyone to be nice, happy, and healthy. So let's use materials that are comfortable. You want to feel like nothing's on your face. You want to feel like everything is good. You feel protected. Because again, I didn't say it this time. I'm going to say it now. Wear a mask, 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 wear a mask. Wear a mask. It's protective for yourself. It's protective to others. I live in New York City, and I was happy to see most folks in my neighborhood, in my area, wearing masks. There were a few out there that weren't, and I'm like, people, like, get with the program. Like, it's not going to end your life. Not wearing the mask can possibly end your life. Just wear it, and wear it properly. At this point, anything, what the person up in the chat box over here, coming off of Twitter, and he's watching me through the Restream app. Talking about he's wearing a maxi pad on his face. Like, I don't know if he was joking or playing around, but at the end of the day, if it works, it works. if it works, it works. Okay. If you can breathe through it, you feel comfortable wearing it, wear it. Wear it. People think things are a game until something happens and they get sick or a loved one gets sick. And heck, you can wear a mask and still become ill depending upon the circumstances. But your best bet is to still wear that mask and wear it properly. Hello and welcome to any folks that just joined us. I'm going to fix this real quick. We're still working on protective masks. I'm actually finishing one up. I'm installing some ear handles that are adjustable. And like try to get in practice of waving to folks on Instagram. Try to get in practice of that. So okay. So almost done. Almost done. Just a couple of more loops to go. And then I'm going to clean this up so it looks nicey nice. And it'll be ready to wear. Okay. Okay. So let's double check, make sure that this is, yep, that is cinching properly. It did. Everything's cinched in. And then pull it out. Yeah, that's good. So here we have our finished mask. So all I'm going to do is clean it up, make it look good. I'm doing some tricks here, some tricks of the trade. Not going to tell you what I'm doing, but if you're watching carefully, you can see. I'm just trying to tuck everything in, but at the same time make sure the pieces are secure. So that's secure up there. Make this extra secure. So let's cut this. Well, let's knot it again and cut this. Okay. And I just like to tuck whatever I can tuck into the pocket. Okay. Let's go on the end. Do something similar. Okay. Actually, I'm going to open up the pocket. Open up this bad boy. Yes, okay. So so one thing I'm just doing is just hiding, is hiding some of the strings as well as cutting them that are in and around the pocket that we just sewed, and that are like around like the ends, like these specifically the end of the ear handles. Just tuck them, make everything nice. And this one I'm going to cut again. Okay. I think two. Yep, I have two down here. this one in. Okay, so you just want to make sure everything looks nice and neat and presentable. It doesn't affect how useful, the item is, but you want to make it look, when you want to make it look good. So cut that string off as well and tuck that in. Specifically, again, I'm tucking it into the pocket. Okay. Yep. It's in the pocket. So you guys can see. Okay. The only string that's left is there's little strings that are on like the sides. Times. But seeing some of the knots sometimes, like if you get something that's handmade, I mean, it reminds you that the item is like totally handmade, and that someone took the time to just go through and just try to make the item as best as they could. But it's just an indicator, like, oh, this is made by hand. Like there are little seams or there's little knots, and it doesn't look unprofessional. It just allows you to know that, okay, this was made by hand. This wasn't made by a machine. Like this was totally made by hand. Let's see. This little piece too. Also, it looks neater. A bit neater, but again, there's something about seeing something handmade and knowing that something is handmade. It feels good. It feels good, especially when it's made well. Mm-hmm. Just adjusting on the ear handles a little bit. Let's see. Yep, here we go. Okay. So let's try it on. Well, actually, let's adjust it. Usually I adjust it first. I'll pull it in because usually I need it to be cinched like that. And then I'll knot it. I just knot the end. I do it loosely. I knot it where I think my ear needs to be. And also because the yarn is so slippery, it's easy to take the knot out. So if you have it upright, and also even though it's knotted, it still allows for the ear handles to be adjusted, as you can see. So let's put it on. Yeah, fits perfectly. Fits well. Fits really well. And then also we have what would be our filter. And sometimes what I'll do is I'll just cut it to be like the exact the exact same size as the pocket, or I'll just cut a piece, fold it as such, and just put it in. When I sell these, or like someone donates and they'd like a mask, I send it out. Or if you just let me know you want a mask, I always send filters to go along with your mask. I'll send like 3 or 4 or whatever, cut them up. And yeah, this one I'll just fold. I'll fold it. And I've mentioned this before, like for using your masks, especially reusable ones, when you go outside and you come back in, I would wash it as soon as possible. You can also sanitize it, but I would still wash it first and then sanitize it if you were going to do that. And sanitizing it for an item that probably, I mean, might get bleached out or washed out if you use bleach, or even if you use like a Color Flash bleach. um, I would I would simply just sanitize it in the oven, and the way you do that is you put the oven on 170 degrees, and just put your mask in, push on a cookie sheet, maybe line it with something, maybe some aluminum foil, and just put in the oven for 30 minutes, 20 to 30 minutes, and your item will be sanitized. That's how heat sanitization works. Just in case, since everywhere is sold out of bleach, there's an alternative for you to use. So here we go. So you have your filter, and you can just breathe easy. Again, I'll tuck these in or around or something, and you can adjust as you go. And you notice as I sort of pull it in or pull it out, as I adjust it, like it'll just naturally tuck. Like I feel the tuck specifically, like right here on the inside of the pocket. That's where I feel the tuck. And again, if it needs to be a little bit looser, I can adjust it. And there we go. There we have it. Here's our completed masks. So right now, I'm currently working on this one, and I'm going to continue to work on this one. And this is the same material that I've been using for the past couple of masks. Bamboo cotton, 55% cotton, 37%, 55% bamboo, 37% cotton. Sorry, I'm losing my head. So that's what I've been using. So you'll see this mask soon on Instagram. You'll see that one as well. And I'll be working on the hemp masks too. And again, I might make one of them circular because we haven't done that in a long time. But yeah, that's today's demo. Thank you so much for joining us. I really, really appreciate it. I always say us. I feel like someone else is sitting here along with me. I don't know. Or I'm just so dynamic that I'm Queen Regine. She's we of the crown, Thank you for stopping by, saying hi, hello, how are you? Checking out the mask making process. And again, we're going to be working on some more masks. But I am thinking about doing like a mask and hat combo. I think that'll be fly. I think that'll be dope. Also, check out the Brew podcast. It's on YouTube. Check out my YouTube channel if you're on Twitter, Twitch, Facebook. You probably see it posted. You see the link, so check it out. We'll probably be doing another podcast next week. We'll be doing it live. Also, I'll be doing another crochet demo on Sunday at 2 p.m. So again, thanks for joining me. Take care and be well. Bye-bye.